Hello, Melanie Fedrone, your go-to cybersecurity girl, coming to you live with this week's Cyber Chronicles. Trucking industry, the next 5 minutes are just for you. This week, we're talking about beyond ransomware. I'm going to tell you the heartbreaking story of a 95-year-old trucking company legacy lost. So, in my time serving the trucking industry, I've seen cybersecurity threats transform from what can be considered minor nuances to serious business risks. And today I want to share a story that really affected me. It's about the fall of a 95-year-old trucking company that had weathered economic downturns, regulatory changes, and market fluctuations, only to be defeated by modern cybercrime. So it was 9 o'clock at night, and we received the call. The panic in the caller's voice was unmistakable. They were already in crisis mode. A company with nearly a century of trucking heritage was facing a disaster unlike any they'd ever encountered before. So by that point, the cyber attack had encrypted, get this, over 800 computers and 50 servers spread across 75 terminals nationwide. The entire company was paralyzed, dispatch systems were offline, maintenance records were inaccessible, drivers couldn't access their electronic logs. The company's heartbeat, the technology that coordinated their feet, had completely flatlined. So what made this situation particularly devastating was that the attack hit when the company had already been navigating financial challenges. They had minimal cybersecurity measures in place, and they had really poor backup protocols. Their infrastructure had been built over decades, so they had legacy systems patched together with newer technology, creating a mixture of vulnerabilities that hackers easily exploited. And with their core systems completely locked and only minimal backups available, they faced an impossible choice. Ultimately, they paid the ransom, which was hundreds of thousands of dollars, in a desperate attempt to save their business. So we were called in to help with the recovery and worked alongside what was an extremely long forensics investigation. But we worked around the clock to restore their systems, and we managed to get the main operations back online within a few weeks. So the business hobbled along over the next year or so. But sadly, the combination of the cyber attack, lack of preparation and disaster recovery planning, and just the existing financial pressures became the final blow to a company that has survived since the early 20th century. And in the end, they were forced to permanently close their doors. So what saddens me about this story is how much better protected they could have been. In our work in cybersecurity, we see similar patterns like this repeat across companies of all sizes and industries. And today I'd like to talk about 5 common issues. The first one is this "it won't happen to us" mindset, right? Some companies still believe they're not valuable targets. But the reality is that criminals target vulnerability in all shapes and sizes. Number 2 is those neglected legacy systems. So older companies often run critical operations on outdated systems with known security flaws that manufacturers no longer patch or fix. I've seen it time after time in different attacks. Old equipment and systems are a cyber disaster waiting to happen. Number 3 is security versus operations, this trade-off. Many companies feel that implementing stronger security means sacrificing operational efficiency. But with the right approach, good security actually enhances operations by preventing downtimes from attacks. Number 4 is inadequate backup strategies. Even companies that back up data often fail to test the restoration procedures or secure their backups from being encrypted in an attack. This is exactly what happened in the company I just mentioned. And number 5 is a delayed response. Those hours immediately following a breach are critical. Without a predefined incident response plan, companies lose valuable time trying to figure out what to do. So let's talk about 3 signs that you could be next. As ransomware continues to evolve, there are warning signs that a company could be vulnerable. And warning sign number 1 is that your IT provider focuses on operations, not security. Having just an IT provider isn't enough. In one case, we were called in after a trucking company was attacked. We discovered their previous IT provider had set them up in a multi-tenant environment without properly separating the networks. When another company in that environment was attacked, criminals simply walked right through the virtual wall that our now client's network was in. The distinction between operational IT and specialized cybersecurity has never been more important. Warning sign number 2 is that you're not monitoring your security alerts. A different company reached out to us during an active attack. While investigating, we found their security notifications weren't configured properly. Alerts had been going off, but going to multiple folders that no one was checking. By the time they noticed something was wrong and called us, criminals had been in their system for over a year. Warning sign number 3 is that you haven't tested your incident response plan. Many companies believe they're prepared until disaster strikes. One business called us in a panic during a ransomware attack. They thought they had backups, but when we asked for them, they discovered they didn't have the decryption key. What could have been a quick recovery turned into several months of struggle. So let's talk about the road forward. As you all well know, the transportation industry is the backbone of our economy. It moves the goods that keep America running. Protecting this vital industry isn't just about safeguarding individual companies. It's about securing our national infrastructure. As threat actors continue to evolve their tactic, the question isn't whether your company will be targeted, but it's whether you'll be prepared when it happens. Traditional security measures are no longer enough. Today's protection requires layered defense, continuous active monitoring by experts, and a proactive approach to emerging threats. The 95-year legacy of that trucking company deserved better, and your company's legacy deserves better too. Ready to strengthen your company's security? Let's chat about building resilience for your business. I'm Melanie Padron, your go-to cybersecurity girl. I spent over 20 years in the insurance industry helping business recover after loss, but now I'm doing something that I think is even better, and that's helping to prevent them in the first place with proactive cybersecurity. Tag a friend who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter and follow me for more cyber tips on how to protect your business. Until next week, stay safe and keep on trucking.